Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily Dizzle for Wednesday, January 19th, 2011. It is I, Tommy Dizzlemits, as always, bringing you the latest in the entertainment news that you need to know. And it seems like there's no better way to start today's update than breaking the news about the third movie in Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy. Of course, he started out with Batman Begins, then he followed up with the ultra-successful and legendary Dark Knight, and now he's followed up with The Dark Knight Rises. Of course, there's been a lot of news about the filming locations lately. They're not going to go back to Chicago. Some people are kind of bummed about that. However, in the long run, people are going to be happy because as of today, there has been an official announcement from Warner Brothers regarding the cast. So let's go straight to the press release. Warner Brothers Pictures announced today that Anne Hathaway has been cast as Selina Kyle in Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight Rises. She will be starring alongside Christian Bale, who returns in the title role of Bruce Wayne. Christopher Nolan added, "I am thrilled to have the opportunity to work with Anne Hathaway, who will be a fantastic addition to our ensemble as we complete our story." Now, Anne Hathaway, I have no problem with her. I think she actually is a good choice. I know they've been testing a lot of other female actresses in the role, but if you have someone like Anne Hathaway, who has a proven track record of a decade plus at the box office, going from Disney movies to more adult fare like Brokeback Mountain, and even Love and Other Drugs from this past year. She's obviously showing that she can handle a mature role, a meaty role, so that's got to be the reason Christopher Nolan picked her. He always is going to pick someone who does a good job of telling the story even when they have nothing to be saying. So that is definitely something to look forward to. But that is not where the fun of the announcement ends. In addition, Tom Hardy has been set to play Bane. Nolan said, "I am delighted to be working with Tom again and excited to watch him bring to life our new interpretation of one of Batman's most formidable villains." The only thing that makes me disappointed about any of this news is originally Tom Hardy was rumored to be portraying Hugo Strange. At first, one of the early rumors was that the storyline for this movie was going to follow the Prey storyline, where Hugo Strange ends up trying to prove who Batman is and tries to steal the suit and pretty much turns to psychological warfare. And I always thought that that was going to be the most logical next step. Ever since The Dark Knight came out, where Joker just completely turns Batman's life upside down, kills all the people that were in his inner circle. Now the Joker is locked away, and we won't see him again, but still that doesn't mean that all this chaos is going to get fixed just because he got locked away. You still have all the torment of Batman loved his girl that Harvey Dent loved too. But he's obviously going to be going through some psychological things. So why not have him go to Hugo Strange and have Hugo Strange end up realizing that, this guy's really fucked up because he's had some fucked up things happen, and man, he likes bats. Maybe he's Batman. Something like that. Regardless, though, even though Christopher Nolan is still going back again and reusing villains, last time everyone thought it was going to be bad, he did that, and now we have Heath Ledger's Oscar-winning Joker performance. So, Christopher Nolan can take something from Batman and Robin, the worst Batman movie, take a character, respin him to a more realistic version, and have him be one of the most epic characters in the series. So, at the very least, Tom Hardy fits the physique even before working out that Bane requires of being a jacked-up dude who can break Batman's back in half. So at the very least, even though it's not the role I wanted him to be, I'm still thrilled as to the announcement because anyone who saw Inception knows that Tom Hardy is awesome. Dare to dream a little bigger? Like the epic line of the trailer? Come on. So it'll be interesting to see how he follows up Heath Ledger as being a Batman villain, as well as how a female villain will do it in this film. But still, more hype being built up. Only good news. It means that Batman 3 is getting closer and closer. There is still a chance, everyone's still saying, well, maybe it is based off of Prey, maybe Hugo Strange will be in it. At this point, though, it looks like they might be going in a slightly different direction, if only for the fact that anyone who's been keeping up on Arkham City and everything like that, they know that that was the exact story they used, of Hugo Strange being the one in control and being the main villain of it. So sometimes if they beat you to the punch on that, it's not as likely to be tied in. It's not like where Arkham Asylum came out after we knew that the Joker was going to be in The Dark Knight. Arkham City, Hugo Strange, everything like that was announced before anything with the third movie. So at the very least, it'll be a different take on the story, not necessarily the one I wanted to see. But regardless, new Batman is awesome. So as we said, The Dark Knight Rises, the cast is starting to come together. It's more official than it's ever been. Of course, every day it gets closer to production, it's more official than it's been. But regardless, that was the big news for today. But just to give you another little bit of other comic book news to end today's show, we've got a little bit of news coming out of Spider-Man that's actually a little bit shocking for anyone who's a fan of the series, the comics, and everything like that. With all the casting going on in the movie, we've got Dennis Leary being Gwen Stacy's policeman father, which is going to be awesome. You've got Martin Sheen popping up, in addition to many other familiar faces from TV shows like Law and Order and things like that. But the one character that we haven't really heard anything about is, and he's kind of important, considering he runs the newspaper, the Daily Bugle. We've got J. Jonah Jameson. Now, of course, in Sam Raimi's original Spider-Man trilogy, the character of J. Jonah Jameson was played by J.K. Simmons, who, if anyone has seen those movies and just even knows the slightest thing about Spider-Man, he was J. Jonah Jameson. Like, he fit the bill. Even in the movies that, when Spider-Man 3 came along and people didn't like it compared to the other ones, he still stole his scenes just for being awesome, being the comedy, being a hard ass when he needed to. So, of course, everyone knows Spider-Man and J. Jonah Jameson go together, so why aren't we hearing anything about him being cast in the new movie? Whether it be J.K. Simmons or whether a new person would be taking on the role. Now, a while ago it was said that J.K. Simmons was not going to be returning, if only because of the fact that they're trying to reboot it. When they try and do reboots, if you have anyone who comes in from the original one who was originally involved, you're just going to confuse the shit out of some of your fan base, which is not something that they want to do. It's the same reason that, even though the new Superman, they're going to not bring Brandon Routh back, even though he was only Superman once. But we're wondering, waiting on who's going to be this guy in the movie. Apparently, J. Jonah Jameson is not going to be in the new film. So, what about the Daily Bugle? What about Peter Parker's daily exploits, his jobs as the camera guy? What about all that? That's all important. That's how he gets to where he is. And without J. Jonah Jameson, you're not going to have the conflict of, oh, you better catch Spider-Man. Now, this could just be a case of them trying to take it in a different direction. Obviously, Spider-Man has so many storyline threads over the years that, if you look at Dennis Leary casting as Gwen Stacy's father and everything, he's going to be the conflict that would normally be there with J. Jonah Jameson. So, on one hand, you can tell they're going in a different direction. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's a good direction. I love Dennis Leary, and it's going to be awesome to see his scenes. But how awesome would it be if, not only does Peter Parker have to deal with Dennis Leary, but then he has to deal with a hard ass at work. You need all this conflict to, generate some kind of buzz in the end that your story is going to lead up to. But once again, another big casting story, or at least lack of casting. So that's the news that we had today. Big casting and non-casting news to cover for you. That's all the time we've got for today's Daily Dizzle. But we do thank you guys for joining us as always. If this is your first time checking us out, be sure to come back every day, Monday through Friday, and also to check back on weekends. We make sure to get as many updates in as we can. And we'd just like to thank you guys who have been coming back for making this one of our most viewed weeks so far. And we're not even halfway done yet. So we hope to see you guys again here tomorrow. We'll have some news coming out from Harry Potter. I hate Harry Potter, but apparently they're going to be messing with one of the death scenes, so that's sure to piss a lot of fans of the book off when they change it to the movie, but that's why I got to cover it, because I like that kind of stuff. I love Harry Potter people being mad, yay! On top of that, we will also have news on Ben Affleck's next project and a possible 5th season of NBC's Chuck, on top of a lot of other things. So, as always, we do thank you guys for joining us, and we hope we will see you here tomorrow. For the Daily Dizzle, I'm Tommy Dizzlemits. We will see you then.